Hi, I'm your tutor Cece, and today we're going to be reviewing how to add and subtract Roman numerals. Adding and subtracting Roman numerals isn't very common, but you do have some teachers who teach it anyway. So, learning how to add and subtract Roman numerals is really going to help if you're already pretty familiar with the numeric value for each Roman numeral. But if you're not, that's okay because I have it all written out for you for today's lesson anyway. So let's take a look. Here are the Roman numerals. Like I said, it is important to memorize them, but it's not necessarily necessary. Alright, so the double S's, it's going to be 1/2. Capital I is going to be 1. Capital V is going to be 5. Oops. X is going to be 10. L, 50. C, 100. D, 500. And M, 1000. When adding and subtracting Roman numerals, there are 3 important rules to remember. When the numbers are going from larger to smaller, you're always going to add those numbers. And when the numbers are going from smaller to larger, you're always going to subtract. You also cannot have more than 3 consecutive numbers in a row, meaning you can't have write 4 like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can't do it because you can only have 3 consecutive numbers in a row. So you'll have to figure out ways to write 4 other than writing 3 I's, which is why we're going to learn how to add and subtract. By taking a look at the Roman numerals, what can we either add or subtract to make 4? Well, the easiest way that I see it is taking V, which stands for 5, and I, which stands for 1, because 5 minus 1, it equals 4. But which order do we write it in? Do we write it in this order? Or do we write it in this order? So if you take a look at the subtraction rule right here, it says numbers smaller to larger is when you subtract. So if V equals 5 and I equals 1, V is larger and I is smaller. So we're going to take the smaller number first, I, and then we're going to take the larger number, V. And when you read this, you're going to read from right to left when you subtract. So really, you're reading it like this. 5 minus 1 equals 4. And that is how you make the number 4 in Roman numerals. So what if your teacher gives you the number XIV? How do we figure that out? Well, if we go up to the top, we know that X equals 10, right? And we just learned that subtracting 5 minus 1 equals 4. But since we're reading from right to left, it looks more like 4 equals 1 minus 5. So technically, IV equals 4. And since we're going from larger to smaller, we're going to add them. 10 plus 4 equals 14. And that's your answer. If you still don't understand that, there is another way to look at it. So we're going to take the number 14 again. And if we're going to go back to elementary school when we write out hundreds, tens, and ones, 14 would start in the tens place and end in the ones place, meaning there are 1 tens and 4 ones. Now we're going to go up to the top of the screen and look at the numbers. There are only 2 numbers in Roman numerals that begin in the tens place, and that is 50 and 10. And since 14 is a lot less than 50, the only number that we can start with is x, 10. And then we can figure it out from there. So we need 4 ones. Like we've mentioned previously, we can't use more than 3 consecutive numbers in a row. So since we can't use 3 i's to make 4, we're going to use IV, which we learned how to do previously. And now we have XIV, which equals 14. And this is also another good way to look at it if you're having trouble visualizing it. Okay, so that's the end of the video today, and that's all that we're going to be reviewing, and I hope you liked the video. If you did like it, press like down below. If you have any questions, leave some comments. Definitely encourage leaving comments so we can have discussions. That's always good when learning a new subject. And press subscribe because I have some upcoming videos about fractions and chemistry and dosage conversions and a lot more. Alright guys, so I'll see you next time. Bye!